everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I have recently finished tilling my wildflower gardens and it was a huge 3-day task. Today we are going to be going outside and planting the wildflower gardens. It is September 1st and I want to do this ASAP so that they could start growing before the winter hits so that they'll be already planted for next spring. I did purchase perennial wildflowers so that they do come back, and instead of annuals to where I'd have to be out there planting all the time. I also purchased two 200-foot hoses so that I could reach my main water source to each of the garden areas to be able to spray a bunch of water on them before it rains. It's supposed to rain the next 4 or 5 days, but when you first plant these wildflower seeds, you want to make sure that they are wet and that they stay wet for several days. So we're going to be out there watering them after I plant them because we want them to germinate and start growing right away. I did get about 14 pounds of perennial wildflower seeds, so hopefully they will all be enough for all 6 gardens because I have a huge area to cover. I also purchased a seed spreader so that I could put the seeds in there to distribute them evenly among the wildflower gardens, and hopefully that works. And if it doesn't, I'm probably just going to take a handful of seeds and throw them out there, but I'm not going to be planting them perfectly because I just tilled up all this land. We're not going to be making rows or anything like that. We're just going to be throwing them out there and hope that it just makes beautiful wildflower gardens. I do want to mention that these gardens are going to be dedicated to my mom, who passed in 2019. Her and I loved to garden together. She had a bunch of gardens in her backyard. She was one of the people who basically got me into gardening, and it is one of the things that her and I had in common the most. I loved doing that with her, and I really miss doing it with her. So all of these gardens are going to be dedicated to my mom. We will get a couple uses out of each bag. I have to basically distribute all of these seeds within the 6 gardens, and that's going to be kind of hard because I don't really know how to divide it up. Each of the gardens are different sizes. We've got 2 of the same size down there and 1 smaller size. And then in the back of my land, we've got 2 giant ones and then a very small garden. We're gonna see how it works. I don't really know what to use to divide them up into the 6 gardens, but we are going to do our best. Okay, we're gonna be starting with laying out the hoses first, especially the one down by the garden that we're gonna do first, so that after the seeds are planted that I could just grab the hose and start watering. These are flexible, expandable hoses that are really light. I didn't want to mess with the plastic ones. I do have another 50-foot hose that we're going to use to extend that. That one's going to stay to the water pump outside, and then we're going to attach this to the end of that and use the nozzle for that one. I guess I could also use this nozzle. It does have multiple different squirting methods. I don't know, we'll see, let's go. Okay, we've put the hose all the way down there. I'm gonna hop on my golf cart. I do have all of these supplies. On the back of my golf carts, we've got the seeds, the seed spreader, a rake, a hoe, and a scraper, just in case we need to do a little work on the gardens themselves. I'm also going to be grabbing the rest of the hose and bringing it down there because, see right there, it was too much for me to pull down there, especially because I have water going through it right now anyway, so we're going to do that right now. Okay, the hoses are ready. So we're going to use that to water the gardens when they are planted. Now, unfortunately, I had to put on my hairnet thing because horseflies, I can hate them. Now I'm glad I have this little cart right here on the back of my golf cart so that I could mix up the seeds and put them in the seed spreader. know how this is going to spread. I don't know how fast it's going to come out, but according to the directions, if you put it on 4 or 5, which is the setting on the seed spreader, it comes out at a smaller seed spread. We are going to start with the smaller garden because it's in more shade, and let's get to it. About 2/3 of that garden done with one whole thing of this. I'm thinking we're gonna have enough. I'm hoping we're gonna have enough, but maybe I start to use less going down because I'm still only on the first garden. Let's keep going. Okay, I went into the second garden with the second batch also, so we did about 1/3 of the second garden and still have about a good 2 rounds of this big bag. So I think I'm gonna open up another, like one of these green bags and mix it in with the others because they're basically the same wildflowers, but maybe different variety, maybe some of the same. We're gonna do that now and continue with the second garden. Okay, we finished the second garden and have a little bit left, so we're going to fill up again and start the third garden. Then we're going to water and then head on down to the other set of gardens where hopefully the rest of it lasts. Now we definitely have another batch left over. At least we've got a big bag left over, 4 small bags left over, and then 1/4 of the first bag left over. I think we are doing pretty well. We are just about done with that last garden. I'm gonna do the rest of it really quick and then we're gonna start the watering. Now this part is probably going to take the longest. It's just how it has to be. You can't just wet the surface because it's 90 degrees out and it's going to end up drying in this heat, so you kind of want to make sure it absorbs a little bit. Maybe in the future I will invest in like a multi-attachment for the end of this that has maybe 3 sprinklers on it and just put one in each garden. at each end of the land. Thank goodness it's supposed to rain the next 4 or 5 days, because then that will be more consistent watering that these wildflower seeds will get to start growing. If not, I'd have to drag the hose out every time, or I guess I can leave it on the ground and just unattach it from the source. But I have ruined 2 of these already because animals have gotten to them. They bite into them and then they break them. Okay, the first garden is done being watered. Cord is extended all the way that it can, and I don't think it's going to reach the 3rd garden. I might have to get another extended hose just to put on the end of there, and right now I do not have one. We did get this whole garden done. It took quite a while to do it. It already seems to be drying in certain spots. I'm going to need a different method to water these if there's like a summer drought. Now we are in the back section of the land where I've got these 3 huge wildflower gardens. The middle one's not so big. These ones are huge, so I am hoping that the rest of these seeds will cover it. I think it will, hopefully. I'll probably spread them a little thinner. Okay, I think I definitely could have used more on this garden right here that I just did. Either we're going to have some left over for the rest of the yard out that way, or I could do another layer because I haven't even opened the other big bag. I think I'm going to put both of these in the middle. This is going to be for the last garden, and there's also, so I'm going to be using 2 of those for the last garden. And then I've got 2 of these left, and we'll use those around the homestead elsewhere, maybe underneath some trees or in another little garden spot somewhere where I can xeriscape and cut off a place where I don't have to mow. I think I did really well on seed buying, because at first I was only buying these little bags, 1-pound bags, and they were not going to cut it. I bought 5-pound bags, and that actually did the job, I think. We'll use about 2 on the big garden and save the other 2. I think we're doing good. Just got done planting all 6 wildflower gardens. I ended up only using 12 pounds of wildflower seeds, and I have 2 pounds left over. I also have a few other packets of wildflower seeds because in the beginning I was thinking that was going to be enough, but we're going to use those for other wildflower garden projects around the homestead. I have to admit that it did take a lot less time putting the seeds out than starting to water that first one. I need to find a better way to water the wildflower gardens, especially if it doesn't rain for a long time, because plants need water to grow. They are both in full sun for a majority of the day, and again, if they don't have water, I don't know what's going to happen to them, but hopefully the next several days, if it does rain, and it will rain because it's on the forecast to rain, so I'm really hoping that it does for at least 5 days, that those plants start to take hold inside the dirt and start to germinate, because I am going to have to order some more extensions of hoses in order to get them that far. It was way too short and I could not reach the garden. So I didn't think I was going to be able to reach the back gardens either. I imagine I will only need a 25 to 50 foot extension, and that includes the 50-foot extension that was already on the one that went to the front garden. And actually the front gardens are a lot closer than the back garden, so maybe I'll end up getting a 100-foot hose and a 50-foot hose. I did end up putting the green hose, the 200-foot hose, away because there have been animals, especially the skunk incident inside the coop, where he bit down on the hose and it broke it. I had another 25-foot extension hose that was connected to the 50-foot one, and when I turned that on, I don't know why or what happened, but maybe an animal bit into that too, but it busted and it just did not work. I hope you guys are enjoying my journey. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and click the notifications bell so you can receive a notification every time I post a new video, which is every Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. I think I'm gonna open up one of these smaller, hold on. Oh, I think we are doing pretty good. Don't put that. Now, don't put that. And now I see why I couldn't work this. You had to push this button at the same time. Oh, Jennifer. I don't remember how much exactly I got, but I got pounds and pounds and pounds of, don't put that. I also purchased a seed spreader so that I can put the seeds inside this thing so that I can, don't put that. I do want to mention that these wildflower gardens are going to be dedicated, don't put that.